alongside on the Jet.
agent.
Split is where they look the most dominant in my eyes.
Pit, why are you toying with our emotions? Come on now, we know what's going on. No need. Pretty standardized picks, I feel. Nothing too head turning here. I think we're pretty expectant of it. I'd like to see a bigger performance from Rhyme. I don't think he was necessarily super quiet, but I think we saw like quite a highlighted game from him in the first time we saw NIP play. I'd like to see a bit more of that. But coming to Split, I mean, I love the fact is like, yes, NIP got to pick side, but it does mean that you give G2 attack. So it's like, you don't ever really win.
Well, this is the thing. Again, if NIP just decide to kind of take this slow and get a read on how G2 want to play this, I say it time and time again, do not let G2 set the pace for how the map's going to go. Because if they come out explosive here, it's very easy. And to be honest with you, the changes to Split, it's easy either way now to say that both sides can snowball. Yes, historically, this is a defensive-sided map, but now with the possibilities, obviously, and the initial changes to mid, the changes now to B site and A heaven, I'm sorry, this one could go either way now. I don't see this one as favored.
No, I don't think the teams have had enough time, at least publicly, visibly, to get that going. It does look like Raze has actually managed to slip through. That was Rhyme there, pushing up towards those, the B entryway, but it gets space for it. I mean, so you take aggressive space somewhere on the map, you lose middle control. It's how it goes. You don't get both, right? You can't have your cake and eat it, but it does bring a lot of pressure towards Chihuahua. Now, seeing everything, though, good camera placement. The guy's been keeping good track. He's going to be in a bit of a problem. He has support here, but the cross is covered. They can get towards site.
Yeah, but I'm impressed actually NIP have swung back over as quickly as they have. JD actually going to find first blood here. So G2 down to 4, but Spike will go down. Looks like the wall's actually going to go over heaven on rafters, so it's going to buy a little bit of time for G2 to get situated now. Actually, the 4-man pushed onto ramp. Look at this here. Ryan's going to find this well.
I hated that positioning from Mixwell there. He was nowhere. Chihuahua, gorgeous shot there as well, taking out ardiis. This is very much game on. Pit had a wonderful pistol before, but no chance at all. Beautiful retake. Very clean. Honestly, I really didn't like Mixwell's position, just caught in the middle of nowhere. Very surprising. Normally Mixwell is so considered, I feel. And he just definitely, I don't know, maybe didn't expect the positioning or the flank through ramp, but I feel like that was the only option, so quite surprised that he got caught in that position.
Well, when the wall's over rafters, you got to assume it's ramp or screens, right? And it's almost like he, for a second there, was facing screens with a frenzy. Now, again, Mixwell, insane player, but I don't take those odds
100%.
versus a classic and a ghost at the other end. But nice recovery from NIP. Again, you absolutely nailed it. As soon as they show presence on B side into garage with that flash, obviously Rhyme trying to go through and find something with the paint shells. G2 immediately snappy back to mid. They go through ropes. They pressure Chihuahua on A. NIP responded perfectly though. Before the Cypher information even came across, they had that 3-man rotate back over.
Okay, a little bit of a different look coming into this. G2 do have weaponry, light as it may be, still certainly functional, and they've once again garnered mid control very easily. Now, yes, they'll note that it's there from the boombot, but also the knife chipping away at the ice probably gives away a fair crack at that. But look at that burst. Mixwell straight away finds Rhyme no problem, and suddenly the map's split in two. Funny that. Who'd have thunk it? But for now, it does look like this B-lean. It's this mid-fake, but keep your eyes on the spike. That's the only issue, is if they lose that, if that gets caught in middle somehow, they'd be in trouble. It's not being. Paddytech keeping it safe, and Chihuahua is none the wiser. He's in all kinds of trouble. Yeah, Chihuahua's now going to spin attention. Ooh. Brilliant shot. Oh, wait. Chihuahua's actually done so well here, and we said the consideration of if that spike gets lost, there's problems. They've got to push for this now.
Yeah, they do, and they have to take this close quarters fight with SMGs in heaven, and actually JD finds the first two on the ropes. Existence will find another. JD, the 3K on the party there. So, I'm sorry, I read the party invite down the bottom. The 3K on the round. Somebody
on the party invite right there.
Somebody sneaking into the party. But yeah, ardiis questioning it too. But yeah, the spike being lost in heaven. I mean, that's huge. I don't want to say sloppy because Chihuahua's played it perfectly around the smoke there. to obviously not only secure that kill, but to keep the spike in heaven also.
Again, and keep in mind how G2 played that. They bought into it, so they're going to be in a weird spot with money for a little while. It does mean that NIP can sit on this for a second. Might have to see how this plays out after that person joined in. I just want to double check everything's good to go. I'm sure the admins are double checking as well. But yeah, NIP get gifted this third round. I say gifted. There's always a danger, of course, but they should win this if you're looking at pound for pound. But yeah, leaving that spiking towards middle is a very dangerous game. It was kind of what was I definitely highlighted there, was that if that goes down, it's very hard to recover. You're not in any favorable fights. But again, if you get this much mid control, you may as well use it. You want to split up the defensive side, of course, punish the rotations between, which was the intention, just a little bit misplaced.
Again, though, lots of mid presence shown. Patatek on a big swing and a miss into ropes there. Kriya into his waiting arms, I guess. Haven't lost anything else in terms of kills, but there you go. Next one will come back with one trade now. So Ninjas in Pajamas will fall to 4, but now they can just default back a little bit. You can see now Rhyme going to hold down that ropes position. Kriya making his way over to the stairs in B Heaven. JD opting to play towards default. Now Mixwell with the spike. Heading back over towards B through Garage. JD should be watching this. I mean, he's got Kriya up there, and I mean the only win condition for G2 here is if they can get somebody onto site and play close quarters versus JD.
30
I
seconds
do like the jiggle
left.
peek. There's the
We saw him,
information.
yep.
Can fall into a new angle. Call for support. Gets outdone.
There you
Hit
go,
there with that Sheriff. I said the man used to be a Deagle master in Counter-Strike, and now you're seeing a little bit of that
Spike
shining
planted.
here. But Kriya, you're going to wait for support or going in alone. Goes ahead of the timing. Dangerous, sure, but he does actually get a gift for that one. Finding Mixwell, again, in a bit of an awkward spot. Unfortunate. Pit not going to get that one either. And Kriya didn't have the best performance on map 1, so it might be nice for him as a confidence boost to get this going. But look at ardiis. Around the world he went. And it is, but look who's checking on it. Rhyme, too aware, too capable. Very, very cognizant of where that plant was potentially for. Like that, very, very well done. Gonna get that ultimate kind of working for Rhyme as soon as possible. And if you're just tuning in, the home ground, the way this works here is that G2 won NIP's map, if you want to look at it that way. Now, coming into this, if NIP win this, then we're going to a full BO5. Now, it's still quite unlikely because we know how this map normally goes, but if G2 win it, of course, it's GG. Just to see, you know, keep you guys up to date. So it's essentially a best of 3 kinda-ish until it's a best of 5. You're welcome.
One more time, just from the top. Just go on.
G2 win, I'm done early. NIP win, we go long.
GG.
You're welcome.
Kriya back with the operator in hand. Actually, quick hit. Actually, a lot of presence shown through A main here. G2 going to find a lot of ground existence. Swings out with the Spectre there. Does not like the look at it, but G2, again, neither side going to give up a kill before the plant here. Rhyme got to be careful. Zeke didn't catch him either, but that's going to give some information away. It looks like they're aware of Zeke's position as well. Whether or not they know this is a double stack. Are they going to double wall up here? I think they are. They're both going to swing on the wall.
Well, that's one. Rhyme can get the heal off. See, you should have seen the second there, yeah, the pixel just peeking over, but time's still ticking here. Pit's still holding the line. Kriya trades back in. Pit still stands, but only for so long. And now just down to ardiis in a 1v3. You do have the spike ticking away, so time's favorable, but the fight is far from it. JD, again, this player, very impactful kills. And 4 rounds now on the trot. And it looks like we've got a couple of issues here, so maybe a pause will be coming in a second just to make sure everything... I love ardiis. Can you... leave?
Can you...
That's it. That's exactly what he said. Well done. Nice.
Yep.
But yeah, just a pause for tech stuff. Just going to make sure no one else is joining the game because, I don't know, didn't get enough attention from their parents at home, so they try and, you know, bring it up on stream. I don't know what's wrong with these children. Anyway, 4-0. Oh, we love a TTV in the name, guys. Use your Prime sub. Don't. Keep it. I don't
definitely
know.
don't.
NIP, 4 rounds on the trot though. Like let's kind of take a second to kind of talk that through, because that's actually pretty impressive, right? Like that's actually not too bad at all. Now I feel like I'm waiting for the penny to drop, right? Like it's just okay, well, when does G2 come online? But so far it's not bad. I think we're seeing the potential of NIP here, which is exciting to me.
It is, yeah. And again, I hate to say it, but this is kind of when you see G2 get tested, which is when they aren't allowed to kind of play their play style. And then it becomes the issue, which is something that's always been talked about with G2, is how do they innovate? How do they come up with some way of kind of breaking this map block? And again, all it took on the first map was the half switch, because we saw a completely different G2 in the second half of the first map. What's interesting to see again is NIP kind of giving G2 that freedom, but then also punishing them for kind of overextending. It's kind of like they're not holding a default setup, but they're holding very deep in B heaven. JD's putting that wall up, kind of baiting them in. They're saying, we know they're going to push, but we're going to take them here at this choke point. And instead of fighting for mid, and you could argue now with the changes to that rope entrance, that fighting mid now is, I mean, you got to have somebody just hitting shots if you're going to challenge mid in that situation. But I'm liking what I see so far, and NIP aren't afraid to kind of back all the way up onto sites either. I mean, even that 4v3 situation, G2 on an eco, JD and Crete, happy to play site. Just let them come in.
Okay. I do like the changes to how people are holding middle, and once this gets resolved, we'll let you know. Players are just readying up now. We just wanted to make sure everything was good to go before we jump back in, so thank you for your patience. Do appreciate that. Before on the trot, pretty impressive. A lot of spike plants, so G2 are getting on the site. They are getting the spike down. It's the retakes and the clutches that are coming out. We do have the ultimate pop tier for Mixwell, so it's game back on.
See if we can get anything done with Bladestorm on this round. Again, though, I mean, this is the closest. I mean, I was just saying how deep they're happy to play it here. Chihuahua coming all the way off B now, and it's 1 in ropes, 2 effectively playing male/heaven now, and that information comes through. The 4-man push of G2 goes on to site. Chihuahua finds the first, JD good for the second. The wall coming down a little bit late there, I've got to say, for G2. Not blocking off any of those sight lines.
No, this is making it all too easy for someone like JD to watch that cross. Now, yes, we still have Mixwell here. We do still have Pit, I believe, alive as well, but a little further away. So it's Mixwell on a bit of an island until he gets some support. And Kriya's holding this angle, and I haven't been sold on Kriya on the op just yet, but this would be a nice chance to see what he can bring towards that. Good work towards Mixwell. Punishes that, sees the spike drop. And Chihuahua does the job. I'm still not like, I read now, don't get me wrong, please don't get me wrong. I love Kriya as a player. I think he was one of the first Omens that I really enjoyed watching. But I'm still not 100% sold on his opping yet. And maybe it's a work in progress, but I mean, for me, I really want to see him come online with that and show why he's been quite adamant to pick it up. I mean, it's been something they've been leaning into. So again, hopefully that works out and we get to see more of that in the future. But what this has done, Hypok, is break the economy of G2.
Yeah, it has. I mean, again, invest in the ultimate there. On the previous round of the buy round, Mixwell's not got that to play with now as another weapon in the repertoire, so to say. Existence finding the early one, actually. Mixwell forced the stinger on that one, maybe looking for close contact, but G2 now try and force the issue onto A once again. Rhyme finds the second, so G2 kind of banging their head against the wall in terms of this eco round.
Yeah, nothing being found instantly.
Enemy down.
Shoe showing. Artist dead. Big old feet. As Existence. Not known for his gorgeous wild sprays, but I like it. Gonna at least hear some of these shots coming through. Pits in a world of trouble. So this one is wrapped up and it's a clean one. And that's exactly, you know, again, another win condition for the Ninjas here is ensuring these rounds are clean. If they do actually want to keep building like this is 6-0 now. This has gone from like a, but this is against G2 on the attack. Yeah. So I want to kind of hark back a little bit to the previous map. Keep in mind, you know, even if this is a 2-0, that first map was a very good performance from NIP, and I think people wrote it off because of the way the result went, which is great. You know, we love a bit of hindsight's 2020, but it was a good game. Yes, they got overrun by G2 on the attack. No one's that surprised, but bear in mind, NIP are working with a new IGL. That's a big change up. That's a very big change. That's a whole stylistic change, but ardiis puts on the moves, but only merely to be thrown back into that ice wall from Chihuahua, who's holding the angle. He's seen a lot of info, and he peeks back in. He's isolated Mixwell. He's doing so much work. The cage triggered now. JD sprays him wildly. They know there is more. Rhymes here. The nade couldn't quite come through in time. That paint shell just not going to go as far as they want. And a quick response coming out from NIP. They want to fight this. That's a dangerous game. Fighting for territory against G2 can end poorly.
And I got a full reset here. Again, it is a 3v3. NIP have the revive should they choose to invest it, but it's got to be later on in the round because you can see they're isolated behind that wall of G2. Korea's gone wandering. It's all the way through. Sushi now. Actually, Zeke going to get a better of existence. JD lines up for the trade, and again, he's good for the taps today, except for that one. Mixwell lands the Vandal shot. Look at this, though. Look who's already in sewers. Will Korea catch it? He's caught it. He's caught it perfectly. Look at that, Korea. Right time, right place. And again, another, I'm sorry, forced push onto A there from G2. ardiis yet to get on the board. Patatech 1 and 7 now. And again, yes, ardiis had a slow start to the previous map and definitely picked up the pace in the second half. But I'll say the same thing as I did on Icebox. I would not have seen this scoreline in the first half.
No. And as much as I'd like to say, oh, you know, hearing their performances, G2 were not having enough game in the previous map. They turned up. Individuals came online. Bit of a slow start, yes, but they were powerful. You saw how they were playing. I want to give this credit to NIP. This is so good. And if we're in a nice little pause, can we go to the attacking spawn and turn around behind us? Sorry, Observer, I'm a pain in the arse that you got that nice floaty mode on. Now just, yeah. And go to the bike shop. Can we look at the speed demon, please, with the nice turtle? Oh, look at that. Can we just have a little pan up? Okay, how many people in chat are old enough to what do they mean by speed demon? What do they mean by speed demon? Here you go, chat. That's one for you. A little Easter egg. I want to know who's old enough in chat to remember these things. We are back into the game though. G2 tactical timeout. Hypok. They had to talk something through because this is not a scoreline that they wanted by any means.
No, and actually, gonna say what I've commended NIP for now, just taking the brawl with G2, and it's actually going to go in G2's favor this time around. A 2-for-1 trade. So I've got to stop looking at the party chat, sorry. They are now going to try and pressure on JD again. Good with the taps as the headshot ardiis will fall, and that brings it back down to a 3v3. Chihuahua actually hopping up on top of the wall there. I find Mixwell kind of sleeping, to be honest with you. Didn't expect that whatsoever. Neural theft popped. Information garnered. JD going to get existence back on his feet now, but again, yes, they can probably get the spike down, but Pitt's got to be the man you watch here. He has to get something done in heaven.
Okay, Pitt, that's one. That's two.
Remaining.
There you go. All you can want, but more. One left in the chamber. Do it for us, Pitt. Do it for us.
Last player standing.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, you know. There was a chance for it being exciting. There we go. G2 sorted out. 7-1. I need to reconnect to one of the thingies, so you just have a chat about this round. Have some fun.
Well, I mean, not much else to say. We got the perfect replay for it. I said Pitt was the one that needed to make something happen with that sheriff in heaven. He absolutely does that. 3 back-to-back headshots, shutting down that retake from NIP. Luckily, Zeke still won the duel to secure that round. Sorry. So G2 will post there first. Now, again, let's see whether or not they can build on that at all. As I say that, Mixwell will find Korea very early on here. First 5 seconds brings it to a 5v4 in favor of G2. Now we've got some ultimates online for G2 as well. The Blade Storm again. We've got the Orbital Strike. We've got the Showstopper. Expect G2 to maybe try and make a play around one of those.
Ardis. Working middle. No one fancies that fight. And he might have to force it. Yeah, no one's there. You can see the response from the other A's. Chuck a couple of paint shells towards it and hope for the best. Rocket is going to dwindle down, so not necessarily a waste, because look at the room he's now going to be able to facilitate for the rest of his team.
I mean, it's just existence here, and the orbital strike is perfect, going to force him back. Luckily, a smoke down for him to retreat into, but Rhyme swinging through the defensive spawn, going to find Ardis there. G2 kind of got 3 members of NIP boxed in. Outside screens here, and the wall cutting off the rotation as well.
Spike planted.
If they can maintain this control of heaven here, as you can see, actually Zeke coming over to the top of ropes, Patatech all the way back on ramp here, 2 members of G2 on site. A really good setup from G2.
Certainly is. Rhyme trying to clear back through. Having a look around. Should get... Oh, that wasn't clean, but it gets the job done. But now there's a problem. Patatech's there straight away. There is no room for error this time. Mixwell is dedicated to the angles, and Chihuahua feeling like a little dog. Surrounded by the big boys here. Gonna have to try and slip away, it looks like. Does get Mixwell on the way out at least, but a quick play back in from Pit to punish. And it should be now some sort of safety for G2.
Yeah, and again, a lot of these rounds have been back and forth, and looking at it, I mean, yes, NIP now going to be coming back to the lost bonus, but this one definitely isn't going to leave the tank empty. But again, because it's been so back and forth, look at G2's. I mean, 2 rounds back to back. And a big investment on their side. Mixwell again opting to take the operator. And I'm not sure really that's what they... yes, drew first blood last round, but the way NIP are playing this, the structure, I'm not sure if the operator on attack here is going to really get much value out of it. I mean, Mixwell's the man to prove me wrong, if any. But 2 ultimates invested there. Showstopper and Orbital Strike coming out. And again, yes, it cleared out elbow there, but Existence did manage to slip back into screens. On the other side, Rhyme's got his Showstopper online. Nothing else really close. I mean, Zeke's close to his res, actually. I missed that one.
Okay. Now, again, I think the traditional attack and defense bias on this map kind of gets put into context when we discuss G2. It always goes slightly out of skew because they're such a very good attacking-sided team. But there is, of course, a lot to be said about the fact that NIP, I mean, everyone on the desk, I think all of us would have sat with probably a 2-0 quite comfortably, but they've been putting up some decent work. I like this. I want to see if it continues, because it looks like we had G2 find their answers after a pause, where some of you guessed correctly it was about Foon. Well done. Congratulations. I like the quotes of the video, like you especially. But now we had the timeout coming from NIP. So you've already got the answer maybe coming back in for them, but a perfect kind of basic site approach here towards B, just very simple, going through the motions, definitely trying to clear Chihuahua, but a gap, and that creates an opportune moment, and it's a chance to strike, but Ardis ensures no more danger comes in, but Ryan with a quick ultimate just going to pile it down. JD! That positioning! JD is so powerful and confident. He takes over that back of sight spot and just turrets it out. JD is making so much difference for this squad.
He's looked fantastic in both maps. In, you know, 1vx situations, whatever it is. Finding first bloods, so good right now. Again, I got to argue, throw 2 slow orbs on backside there, but nobody cleared it. It was weird for Chihuahua to even get 1 kill in that situation. I thought when the second slow orb goes down, maybe they got a sound cue and knew somebody was backside, but just weird. Very weird.
We've seen a couple of times now where people kind of go through the motions of clearing, and you know, it's just lazy clearing corners. You see it in CS with players with like 10-year careers, but for now, Ryan going to be put to the fight and wins it cleanly. No trade available just yet either. Information be found off the boombot potentially. I think they've just slipped away, but now there's problems. Big problems. Patatech's found a huge opening. That's a massive entryway, but do they expect to play up the ropes? They expected 1 for the second. Patatech too strong, too smart, too aware. 3 rounds now with G2.
And this is it there, right there, the perfect example, right? So, round score, G2 now, they just take a brawl round there. 3 people swinging up ramp there. And again, it's actually a double stack on ramp from Korea. And believe existence. Again, wins those first 2 kills, and there's nothing else to it. It's brute force. And that's the rounds that G2 can squeeze out. And again, if we close this out 8-4, I mean, dare I say it, expect G2 to have a similar second half?
Maybe. I don't know. This game's too up in the air for me by all accounts. Aggressive start for the defending side towards A. They wanted the ult, and it looks like they've got it, at least for now, investing a fair amount of utility to try and keep some sort of safety towards that. And again, it looks like that's some, you know, similar mid-split towards potentially A at this point. I don't love the spike being with Sage there. It does seem that it's backing away through the sewers and slow progress being made. But Rhyme again controlling middle, and it's Korea. This time different angle and a different outcome. At least finds one on the way down. Oh god, that's horribly
He's so
awkward.
blind. So blind.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, but NIP positioned to punish the revive as well. Not sure if they're going to realize Patitech's already tucked in hell, but Spike down now. NIP is going to look to hold this one. Maybe we'll get 1 kill, but position noted. It's going to be spammed out of that corner now. There you go. NIP will close this half 9-3 versus G2.
Switching sides.
Okay. 9-3-1/2. And we said when we watched NIP in that previous one, they do seem to have some tech pause coming in for Pit there, so, or G2 should I say. So we'll give it a sec, but we can talk through kind of what we saw on Icebox on the attacking side for NIP. The defensive side for G2 had a couple of issues to start with for sure, but then you had Pit being the absolute kind of, you know, raid boss, and was absolutely incredible at site holding, really, really good presence, a real nuisance to play around. I think a lot more now will be looked towards, I'd say, ardiis and Zeke. Again, this half hasn't been kind to them. So no. I'm wanting a bit more. And they definitely showed they could provide more once they came back in on that second half on the first map. But again, eyes towards NIP here. Do you think they can apply that same sort of structured approach that they had on Icebox in a map like this? It can lend to it, but do you think they'll be able to make it work?
I've got to say that the key to NIP's success there is shutting down these confidence plays from ardiis. He wasn't able to get anything done in the rounds that he was pushing mid, and even when he was playing entry with kind of those 4 or 5 man leans on G2, he wasn't able to find the kill. Yes, sure, maybe he's getting traded. You could argue, yeah, even as a duelist, he's kind of doing his job there, you know, bait the entry and play for a trade. It gives them, you know, the 4v1, the 4v2 onto the site. But I mean, if he goes unchecked on defense, we know what ardiis is capable of, playing mid as playing mid on split as Raze.
Okay, I think that's outlined what to expect, and I don't know. I'm as much as I know defense can build up a lot, I really don't want to remove how well I want to put credit towards NIP here. I think a lot of people expected this to be a bit of a blowout almost. You know, this was an easier step for G2 than it should have been. I mean, the only real challenge I'd see would be Summon, if I'm honest, and maybe I'll be proven wrong. But this is a very good start for the Ninjas here. I mean, it's not been perfect by any means, but JD and Rhyme coming online here has been great for them. But new half, new start. Let's see if NIP can make it stick on the attacking side. G2, 3 rounds. This pistol could mean everything.
Very quick hit. Oh my god, Mixwell still blind. What felt like 10 seconds there. NIP will get 4 into heaven very quickly. ardiis going to get forced all the way back into spawn. He's got to find that kill. Thank you, Ryan. Will fall, but it's not it just yet. Patitech will swing, get to trade, but now NIP... the 3v2. Pit all the way back round towards A main. I think Chihuahua may have caught a sound cue there, but he will after the trap wire falls. Pit on the pistol round. Count on this man to land some pistol headshots.
You normally can. And you can see already Existence wants space in the other direction. Try and make sure he's not pinned towards the side itself. Outdone by Zeke. This is a problem. JD called upon again now. A 1v2. An HP, the timing's everything. Can he catch one for free? A clean kill is exactly what he needs and exactly what he gets. But the slow orb denies some of the accessibility towards the site. But Pit now, the time's dwindling. He's got to make his move. He's got to go now. JD's playing it well. He's trying to find the angles, but Pit plays it better. Timing will be a factor, but Pit has done well enough to get them to this scenario regardless.
Yeah, and that's a big win. That's a big win. Again, prevents NIP going to double digits and putting that immense amount of pressure in terms of the round score onto G2. And also just a confidence builder.
Okay.
I love the push from NIP though. Again, just forcing ardiis all the way back on there, and it's not as if it's like, yeah, we've got him back in spawn, leave him there, let's take site now. It's like, no, get that kill.
Right. We go again. The window of opportunity has been cracked open. The fresh breeze of potential turnarounds for G2 now comes in with this. Pit, gonna know now there's something coming his way. Does he know how much? Yet to be seen. Now, keep in mind where the spike is. This is certainly not an all-in piece just yet. This shows a good amount of intention and does draw a rotation, and I'd say somewhat commitment from Mixwell and Pit towards B for now.
Yeah, shown a little presence, tried to get some chip damage, but they fought for the orb, and they're gonna put that in. I'm fine with that on the eco round. Make sure you get an extra ult orb out of it. Maybe actually gonna come back over and try and do the same thing on A here, but you can see Patitech and ardiis holding close, but ardiis actually backing up now after the Molotov goes onto the smoke. I think, yeah, you can see Patitech pinging. He's got some sound cues somewhere. The smoke drops. Unfortunate time there for Chihuahua. And there you go, ardiis will find the first with the Bulldog, Patitech with the second. And Mixwell's here to reinforce.
Something about Mixwell, once he gets on that op, you just notice how much time he is in different places on the map. I mean, in other games we credit
left.
kind of very mobile oppers and AWPers in Counter-Strike, for example. You know, the likes of Device and what have you. And I do think he's one of those very talented players. And you can see NIP are trying to find their best option, trying to draw out rotations, and it's not going to happen. Mixwell and Zeke going to shut that out. But it's something I really like about Mixwell is that he is so versatile and mobile on that op. He is everywhere at once. He is not just commanding one site. He is around. He is making sure there is no easy way forward.
But it's, and we talk about this term conditioning, you know, especially with a player like Mixwell on defense. It's like, yeah, do we want to peek B garage? Maybe this is the round Mixwell's posted there with an operator. You know, it's things like that. Again, you know, a good team, you can't let that be in. You've got to play your game plan, right? But the way Mixwell's able to command kind of 2 or 3 different positions without even being there, as you say, it's just a guessing game. ardiis nearly being caught out there. Again, Existence, we commended him for his flashes the other day, and it's the early round ones for me that just kind of get people away from those angles. It gives them a little bit of space to move up.
You see mid-control being fought a little bit harder for, I feel, from G2. We saw a couple of teams not necessarily completely give it up, but kind of sit back at the extremities that we're now somewhat seeing Sage falling away towards that deeper split through. You've got, I think it's ardiis there kind of towards Heaven side, Mixwell towards Rope. So very, very, you know, not necessarily passive, but I mean, you can't plant the spike in middle. The sites are pretty far away from it, so you can give up some control, but you're banking on this to work out. Mixwell definitely noting presence. You can see Sage leaning that way, so they have caused the rotation they wanted, but it looks like they're going to start leaning back the other way. So an interesting piece of play coming through. I want to see that commitment now.
Ardiis actually walked into that fault line there, so going to get caught backside. Pit still finds that one, even though he's concussed. JD now, good for 2. It's so good. Did they clear ardiis? They do indeed. Ryan going to find that one as well. So G2 down to 2 players now. Mixwell on this late rotation through, going to join Patitech up in Heaven. They both upgrade to Phantoms.
Mixwell now working forward, combat stim going down, trying to put himself absolutely on fire, and he finds 2. Now the final player left up against him is Mixwell misread the timing, and Chihuahua staying mobile in that clutch, just making sure that timing was not going to be used against him, and it doesn't. So well done in the end. 2 players stepped up for me. JD is 1, and then you had on the other side Mixwell making that even possible. 10-5 now.
It's little things like that, and I know people are going to lose their minds in chat about the fact he pulled his knife out there, but the timing is just heartbreaking for him. He waits for the peak on the right side for 2 or 3 seconds, opts to then push round to pillar. Chihuahua just swings, and it's a walking swing. So unfortunate.
No. Let's see what NIP do with this round. They've had a touch of success in the previous.
Why destroyed?
A mid-split worked for them.
Cage triggered.
Now it looks like going back towards an A execution. Now Mixwell is here. He is sitting towards CT. He's all the way back on defensive side spawn, however you like to refer to it. Rafters being pressured, but Rhyme straight in there, throws himself into the den, and he actually comes out the victor, already controlling the site. The Spike trying to get towards it. Still needs to clear a little, secure some safety.
Yeah, wall goes down over the screen. Mixwell immediately breaks it, which gives JD the opportunity to swing on that reload. So again, NIP will pick up a freebie. And there's a second onto Ardis as well. Chihuahua on the road. That accuracy. A little bit of a penalty on the rope, but that wasn't pretty for sure. JD, again, just so consistent today. Look at that.
Why does his game look like that, huh? Like, how did...
24 and 10 on this man right now.
What's his monitor? What's his mouse? Tell me all of it. I want his setup. Like, I mean, it just makes it look so easy. It's incredible. And do you know what? One thing I'll say is we saw the power of existence on the first map. This map, quieter, but as an IGL, I don't really mind. If you're serving your purpose, it's fine to me. And when you have someone like JD absolutely running away with it, no problem. 11-5 now. G2 might start feeling the pressure. This could be opening up to a BO5. And Ryan is going to do the very best he can. Now, did he expect the second? No. Atitech can't do much to change this now. He's kind of trapped in there. This could be a problem.
Yeah, he's got to get away from that aftershock as well. And we'll tag him up for about 30 or so HP, I think. Chihuahua, again, given all this freedom to lurk all the way into ropes. Now comes the rotation. Here's Zeke on the ropes there, trying to bait something out. He does actually clear it.
Goodbye.
So spots Chihuahua out, but Phantom versus Ghost, you've got to expect Chihuahua wins that one. Patitech swings with a Vandal, though. 2v3 definitely doable here for G2. Maybe not now. Nope.
Oh,
it just
trigger discipline. Yeah, buddy.
The discipline. The discipline to find both as well as a result of it. Fantastic stuff.
I'm smiling, man. Like, let's see G2 work for this. I think in the wider map pool, this will go G2's way. But you know what? I'm happy to see him pushed. I'm happy to see another good European team. This, to me, excellent indicators. And this map has not looked great for G2. This is their pick, keep in mind. They look better on Icebox. This just looks kind of hit and miss. I mean, they had a couple of nice moments towards the end of the first half, but beyond that, look at NIP. They've got ultimates for days. They are ready to go. They're locked and loaded, already one to be used. Why not? You've got potential to do it, and they're going to pull players back. JD swings into action, finds Ardiis, and right now just powers forward, taking space everywhere. Kriya is just being the paranoia. His positioning is the biggest problem. They don't even know where he is. Mixwell dashes past, gonna take the fight, but all the information is noted. That spike is on existence, and he isn't at B.
Yeah, Kriya actually gets the info on two players there, all the way in the defensive spawn. Mixwell and Pat actually making their way back over, and Ryan finding that kill is actually going to bring both members of G2 back towards heaven here. Patitech through ropes, Mixwell on stairs. Existence creeping through garage here. Got to worry about this cross, though. If Mixwell gets into a position to hold it, he's not watching. He's actually going to...
The timing. He got so paranoid about it. There was no spike plant while they had the opportune moment, so they started to consider the other options. And as you can see, it's opened up a chance, but now they have to position perfectly for this retake. Otherwise, we've got an upset. This is the start of a big upset, and this is where everyone on the desk is wrong. If this doesn't go 2-0, keep that in mind. This was how much we believed the G2 would be looking solid here. Now, Existence...
Oh my god.
Turned away for a second, but Rhyme's got his back, and now Mixwell left in a 1v2. The last post didn't go so good, but maybe this time it could go different for Mixwell. He's sticking it. He wants to get it towards halfway. He's got it there, but he needs to get it all the way through. Ryan doesn't allow it. It's 13-5. The Ninjas have beaten G2 on their home map. We are going to the best of 5 now. Stick around, guys. We've got more to come your way.
Clutch. Let's go.